So probably like everyone on planet Earth, I have made some purchasing decisions when it comes to fashion that I have regretted, and unfortunately I have made some of the same purchasing mistakes again and again and again. So I guess I'm making this video not only to share with you the purchases that I made in the past that I regret and no longer buy to help you guys from making the same mistakes, but this is also kind of a personal reminder, a note to self not to make these same purchasing mistakes in the future. So without further ado, let's just hop right into the video, and I'm going to share with you the 10 fashion items that I no longer buy. So if I have learned anything in this last year and a half or so of dealing with all the craziness in the world, I'm not going to mention the C word. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about, but I have learned that life is too short to be wearing ugly, uncomfortable granny panties or anything uncomfortable that's under your clothing in general. I feel like even though you're wearing something underneath your clothes that nobody can see, I really feel like it affects the way that you feel on the inside, how you exude yourself on the outside. I just think that underwear should always be comfortable first and foremost, and also look good on the outside. In my opinion, when I know that I am wearing a cute pair of underwear or a cute bra underneath my clothes, even though no one can see it, for some reason it just makes me feel a lot more confident. So I have made the personal decision to never ever buy another pair of granny panties ever again, and just look for underwear that looks really good but is also super comfortable. And recently I discovered Tommy John, which I am so excited to be sharing with you guys, because I kid you not, their underwear is probably the softest, most buttery, second skin like underwear I have ever put on my body. It not only feels amazing on my skin, it also looks so good under clothing. You can't see anything digging into my skin. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. It doesn't ride up in places where it doesn't need to ride up. Tommy John underwear has quickly become my all-time favorite comfortable and cute looking underwear that I have been wearing on a daily basis. Another category that Tommy John does so well, and that has made my other purchasing decision of no longer buying ugly loungewear so much easier, is sleepwear and loungewear. Admittedly, I used to be one of those girls who would go to sleep in a really old, ugly, oversized, baggy t-shirt. A lot of the times I would lounge around the house in very old sweatpants that had holes in them, and I just didn't think that replacing them was a necessity because no one would see me. Who cares if I'm wearing really old sweatpants and a baggy old t-shirt? But like I mentioned, with everything that happened, it really shifted my mindset to live in the now and make everything in my space, and also everything that I put on my body, aesthetically beautiful. I feel like life is so short, not only to wear the things that make you feel good and do the things that make you feel good, but also to bring things into your life that don't make you feel your best and your most happy self. So I have made the hard decision to get rid of all of my old baggy t-shirts and all of my old sweatpants, and I replaced them with buttery, soft loungewear and sleepwear, such as the pieces that I'm showing you now from Tommy John. I couldn't be happier, not only with the quality of these pieces, but the colors are so up my alley. I love soft pastel tones, and these pieces just make me feel so good. I love the sleepwear set for sleeping in. It has this satin silky feel to it that just glides on the skin, and it's very breathable, super comfortable to sleep in. And this soft lavender loungewear set is my husband's personal favorite. He loves when I lounge around in this set. He said it looks like my happy loungewear set, which makes me happy to hear as well. So if you guys were interested in checking out any of the Tommy John pieces that I showed in this video so far, everything will be linked in my description box below. Is it done? Did you do it?
Yes.
You did?
Then get on.
Okay. Click the link in my description box and use my code Niki Sky to get up to 20% off plus free shipping on Tommy John. So probably one of the most important note to self in this video is to never ever buy any more dresses that has a lining that doesn't meet the hem of the dress. So in the past, I would make the sacrifice for a gorgeous dress that I would think is so beautiful, but the lining of the dress was cut short, where the bottom of the dress would kind of be sheer and you can see your legs through it. Sometimes this design, if done well, can look good and it kind of adds to the whole design of the dress. But 99% of the time, I've noticed that when brands do this, it makes the dress look so much cheaper and it's also super unflattering, in my personal opinion. So now anytime I look at a dress, I always check to see that the lining goes all the way to the bottom and meets the hem of the dress. Otherwise, it's a no-go for me. Another fashion item I no longer buy are blazers that are too fitted. For example, the Balmain blazers or blazers that just are too structured and stiff. I feel like this is a very outdated look. As much as I love the Balmain blazers, I feel like they're classic and look good on so many people. Personally, I don't feel like it aligns with my personal style. I like my blazers to be more oversized with padded shoulders and kind of look like it could be my husband's blazer. Personally, I feel like oversized, kind of looser blazers that are longer have a more cool and effortless vibe to them, which is why I no longer buy the more fitted versions anymore. Another thing I no longer buy are super expensive, trendy shoes. Okay, that was a lie. I recently did, but it was an exception because they were so beautiful and so comfortable. I just couldn't resist. But for the most part, I really do try to stick with this rule. Most recently, I was like this close to getting a pair of Bottega Veneta high-heeled sandals, the ones that have like this beautiful feather kind of explosion on the front of the foot, and I thought they were absolutely gorgeous. Luckily for me, or should I say luckily for my wallet, they didn't have them available in my size, but I did find these beautiful dupes on Zara, which just goes to show that sometimes if you hold out or if you do a little bit of hunting around, you can usually find cheaper alternatives for these super expensive trendy styles without spending as much money. Now, I'm not saying that I don't buy designer shoes. I still buy designer shoes, but usually when I do buy them, I make sure that it's a timeless classic style and most of the time also a timeless classic color that I can rewear again and again, year after year, and mix and match with a lot of different pieces in my wardrobe. So something that I haven't purchased probably since I was in university, I want to say, is low-waisted jeans. I used to love my low-waisted jeans. I thought they were the coolest thing ever. And now every time I see someone wearing jeans that are so low-waisted to the point where you can just see everything hanging out, to me, it's just not a very flattering look. It's not very chic and sophisticated. Maybe it's because I am a 31-year-old woman and that's just not my life anymore. I'm also a mom, so you know, I feel like I have to dress a little bit more appropriately for my age, but I still strongly feel like for the most part, high-waisted jeans are the most flattering jeans for most body types. It elongates your legs, makes them look a lot longer, it whittles your waist, and it makes it a lot easier to tuck in your tops, which you guys know is one of my favorite things to do when I'm putting an outfit together. I almost always tuck my top in, whether it's a t-shirt or a dress shirt or a knit. I always tuck my top into my bottoms, and I just would not be able to do that if I were wearing low-waist bottoms. Another fashion item that I haven't purchased in many years is an oversized slouchy handbag that has a bottomless bottom that you can just throw in your entire life into and be digging and digging and digging to find what you're looking for. I don't even remember the last time I owned one of these bags, but truly it is probably one of my biggest pet peeves when I can't easily access what I need to find in my handbag. I need everything to be organized in some way, compartmentalized, easy to find. I just don't have the time or the patience to be digging around in there. For me, that's probably the biggest reason why I no longer buy this particular fashion item. Secondary reason why I don't buy oversized slouchy handbags anymore is because I just feel like they don't have that polished, kind of sophisticated look that I normally gravitate towards. I feel like it doesn't really vibe with my overall personal style. It's more of a casual, kind of laid back kind of look. Don't get me wrong, I love my casual laid back looks, but I also like to juxtapose it with a more structured handbag. I have a bag, the Chanel 19, which is a beautiful tweed bag that is a fabric bag and has a relaxed vibe to it, but it's definitely not slouchy and it's not too oversized, and I can easily find everything that I'm looking for. So for me, it's more about balance and convenience. And that's the reason why an oversized slouchy handbag is just not something that works for me in my life right now. Speaking of handbags, another type of handbag that I no longer buy is any kind of handbag that lacks versatility. And what I mean by that is a handbag that I can't fit all of my essentials into, a handbag that I cannot wear with a lot of things in my wardrobe, with the exception of like evening bags that I wear when I go out. Even then, if I do buy an evening bag, I make sure that it's a neutral type of evening bag that I can wear with many different options down the road. But for the most part, if it's a bag that I plan to wear on a regular basis, I make sure that I can wear it with so many different pieces in my wardrobe, that I can wear it in abundance of different ways, such as over the shoulder, crossbody, top handle, under the arm. I want to make sure that I get the most out of my handbags. And that's why for me, if it's a handbag that lacks any versatility, it's just not something that I would be interested in. Another thing I no longer buy when it comes to fashion are unwearable trends. I love trends. I feel like trends are really important to help not only develop your own personal style, but also to propel fashion and like the entire fashion community. And I love dabbling in trends as long as it's something that I see myself wearing, and it's not just something that I saw someone else wearing and looking good in it. It has to be something that would be compatible with my own personal style and still allow me to feel like my most authentic self. The last fashion item that I have realized I've stopped purchasing, with the very rare exceptions, are unwearable prints or patterns. I realized that I really gravitate towards solid colors, with the exception of floral prints. I love floral prints. I mean, who doesn't love a nice floral print? But all in all, I just don't feel my most authentic self if I am wearing, for example, a plaid print or a polka dot print. I've worn those pieces before, but I just don't feel like they align with my personal style, which is why now I no longer buy unwearable prints and patterns. Not that I think there's anything wrong with them. I think there's so many beautiful prints out there, but I just have to be realistic with what makes me feel the most me before making these purchasing decisions. And I realize when I do take the time to think about it, I just don't feel comfortable in those types of prints and patterns. So I really hope that you guys took away from this video that all of these preferences are my personal personal style. I don't want to be sitting here and telling you that just because I stopped purchasing these particular items that you should too. Everybody has a different style, a different lifestyle, different needs and wants out of the things that they bring into their lives. And I hope that this video makes you realize that my preferences might be different from yours and vice versa. And you should always, at the end of the day, do whatever makes you look and feel your best. And maybe you took some snippets out of this video and came to the realization that, yeah, you know what? Come to think of it, I have the same preferences as Niki just mentioned, and I came to the realization that I probably shouldn't go out and purchase these items as well because they just don't make me look and feel my best. And with that, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If there are any fashion items that you stopped purchasing, let me know what they are in the comments below. I'd be really interested to know. If you haven't already, I wanted to also invite you to follow me over on Instagram. I love interacting with you guys over there, and I always share some kind of behind the scenes of my life and day-to-day, mom life, wife life, work life, all of that stuff, and I would love to have you guys over there. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me, and I'll see you in my next one.